Hello everyone and welcome back. What's on tap for today? Well, we've got another great video. This time it's our lovable lunatic lady friends at the view that I affectionately call the rear view. These cackling hens, what are they talking about today? Nikki Haley announced her presidential run. Let's see what these cackling hens have to say about that. Will they be on Nikki Haley's side or will they catfight with each other and go after Nikki? We'll get to all that in the next few seconds, folks. But I just want to let you know that you're watching the Dr. Nasir Shaikh Show. I'm your guest host. My name is Dr. Nasir. Like, share, and follow us. Hit that notification bell. Subscribe if you haven't done so. Let's get to that video right now.
Republican playing field for the 2024 presidential race just got a little bigger. Former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley released a campaign ad making her pitch to the people. Take a look.
My parents reminded me and my siblings every day how blessed we were to live in America. Some look at our past as evidence that America's founding principles are bad. They say the promise of freedom is just made up. Some think our ideas are not just wrong, but racist and evil. Nothing could be further from the truth. Joe Biden's record is abysmal, but that shouldn't come as a surprise. The Washington establishment has failed us over and over and over again. It's time for a new generation of leadership. You should know this about me. I don't put up with bullies. And when you kick back, it hurts them more if you're wearing heels. I'm Nikki Haley, and I'm running for president.
So, Nikki.
Before we get to the cackling hens and what they have to say, I just want to say, as far as giving that ad a grade, a political grade, I'd probably give it a B minus to B plus, somewhere in there, somewhere in the B range. I mean, it's okay. She's putting forth, she's showing herself. She's talking about how America's great, coming from an immigrant family. Parents talked about the values of America. Basically went and had some images there, obviously, of AOC and some socialists, and some Democrats and those kind of things. So I think all in all, it's a good message. It's probably playing to the base, obviously, but I think that ad could be utilized there. Okay, perfectly fine. Anyways, let's get to the views of the cackling hens.
Since you have been asleep all this time and you just woke up, you're just finding out that there are things about our country that are not perfect. And for us to pretend that it is and that nothing happened is ridiculous. So you're not saying anything new. And you, of all people, should know better, because you used to actually have some sanity and knew right from wrong. And then you lost your mind and went in some new direction. So don't do that.
Wow. One person of color attacking another person of color. Woo! Unbelievable, huh? The cat fight. Yeah. The claws are out, folks. The political claws. The political cat claws are out. Yeah. Scratch, scratch. Wow. Let's see what the other cackling hens have to say.
He's part of the invasion of the body snatchers. There are these politicians on the right who now have become like mentally crazy, But her problem is that,
as opposed to the lunatic losers on the left, right?
Not only was she a big Trump supporter, and she's an election denier too, isn't she?
At one point, she was.
But she changed, she flip-flopped on that.
Yeah.
But she also backed Herschel Walker, one of the worst candidates we've ever had. I mean, second only to George Santos, maybe.
Wow, going after another person of color, the white elite liberal lady lunatic going after the black conservative. Woo! Talk about bigotry and racism. Wow, Joyless, Behar.
Yeah.
And
that was terrifying, actually, that she did that.
So, I mean, she's going
an
nowhere
election
fast,
denier.
this one.
I'm not sure she's an election denier. I would check on that. But
Can you guys let me be excited for one day? This is the first time first time in 7 years a Republican is running against Trump. She's not perfect, but she is damn well better than him. And I'd argue she's better than the two front runners, DeSantis and Trump.
But doesn't her presence make it easier for Trump to get the nomination?
No, I don't think so.
Because now she's taking more votes away from DeSantis or these other candidates.
Not necessarily. And I think that she struck some important tones to me, which this was an aspirational message, and it was about next generation leadership. That's what she talked about. A dig at, 78-year-old Donald Trump, who is something of the past. But also, the thing that I have not seen him do, and I've yet to see Ron DeSantis do, who we keep talking about the front runners, is go in front of a room and give a unifying speech about how the future can be brighter. She has the capacity to do that. I've been with her at the United Nations.
But she hadn't done it yet.
She hasn't done it yet,
Okay.
but
How many speeches does President Trump have to do about unifying the nation? How many speeches do these politicians, every time we hear the same thing? Oh, they need to have a speech. They need to go to the middle. They need to unify the country. Come on, okay? I'm sick and tired of this thing. It's just freaking speeches. We want action to happen. Words are fine platitudes, okay? But if there's no action behind those words mean they don't mean a damn thing, right? Or as we say in the South, bless your heart.
where I've seen her take on dictators straight to their face. She's, in every room I've been in with her, she's the smartest in the room. That doesn't mean there aren't shortcomings and things that have to see.
Isn't that what we heard? Isn't that what we heard about Kamala Horizontal Harris? That in every room, she's the smartest person in every room. Now, can we get away with this, that the smartest person in the room? What, are we taking IQ tests every single time? Now, Nikki Haley, she's the smartest person in the room? For anybody, okay? Let's just stay away from IQs, all right?
It doesn't say much.
It doesn't mean there aren't things
They're
I
clucking,
need to see
they're
from her.
clucking.
Yeah. This is a message that I could get behind.
But when she says Joe Biden's record is abysmal, really explain.
Okay, when I watched it, so I was checking it out, and I understand why this is a step up, like when you address that you haven't had other candidates or anything else. This wasn't clearly for an independent, because as I watched, what I had to remind myself of, and my producer was like, remember, this is for primaries, so this is playing two Republicans.
So her producer, I would imagine, is a man. I'm not really sure, but if it was, he had to mansplain to Sara. Hey, Sara, honey, this is a primary, okay? She's making this ad for the primary, for Republican primary voters, not really for independents.
That already on the ground, because there were a couple parts where she talked about the socialist left, and she used a picture, and it was Bernie, Biden, Pelosi, and Vice President Harris. So as I'm looking at that, I'm like, I get if you're really far Republican, you're not understanding the nuance of the side, but there were a couple parts like that. The other thing is I think she missed an opportunity, as she does say she's an immigrant in the beginning of that, which I don't think we showed, but I think she really could have leaned into, she shows alternative countries at another part in that and how bad it could be, but I think she could have recognized that lived experiences are different in this country, because she is coming from South Carolina, and she talks about the Confederate flag. She had an opportunity to have a line or two there saying, it's hopeful for me and my experience, but I also recognize that there's a lot of different lived experiences in this country.
She does.
And real quickly, the cheesy music and the robotic AI delivery, we need some work on that, because I don't.
Listen, domo homo gato, Mr. Roboto, domo homo. Come on, okay? I mean, this is so unbelievable. The cheesy music, every freaking political ad has got some music, and they test it to see if it's going to work or something. Nobody gives a crap. Now, it depends upon, uplifting music, or is the music kind of, dark and somber, or is it, really catchy and playful and upbeat? Of course, those kind of things. And then about the robotic and the way she talks or whatever, everybody has their own way. It's their first ad. I thought it was fine. Nobody's looking at that except for you people, you elitist, you social justice warrior, liberal leftist lunatics. That's all you guys are concerned about. Again, words are fine. Let's see what your actions are. That's what we got to check. All right, let's continue.
on the Confederate flag until a tragedy hit. To me, it was where she was on school choice, where she is on national security, her economic policies as governor. She's someone I could believe in. And Nancy Pelosi said the other day, we deserve to have two strong parties. This is a massive step up.
We do deserve to have two strong parties. So, Tim Scott.
Oh, we don't. I don't want two strong parties. I want the Republican Party to be strong, and I want the Democratic Party to be weak. We deserve. Nancy Pelosi said, when did God go away and put Nancy Pelosi in charge? Nancy Pelosi said that we need two strong parties. Well, whoop-de freaking do for Nancy. I've had too much to drink. Pelosi. And Whoopi goes, we need two strong parties. You don't believe that? Come on. The strongest Republican Party and the weakest Democratic Party. That's what I want. I'm sure that's what you guys that are listening, most of you want. Exactly. Let's continue.
Black Tim Scott, right? Because there are two Scotts, and I don't know how to differentiate them without a picture. So
Rick Scott and Tim Scott?
Rick Scott and Tim Scott.
Right.
Tim Scott is black, right?
Yeah.
Okay. He's about to run, announce his running. They're going to be coming out of the woodwork, so don't just settle.
She's not my candidate necessarily. I'm waiting to see the field shape up.
Good. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Don't settle.
Don't just wait right now. Don't just wait, okay? She's not my kid right now, okay? Don't just settle, okay? You just wait, because that field's going to get really big. Yeah, what happened before in 2016 when that field was like 1,000 people running on the Republican side? What happened then? 1 by 1, 2 by 2, 3 by 3, 4 by 4. They just continue to fall. Bye-bye. 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 And bye-bye. 1 by 1, those guys were just absolutely, decimated by the Donald, by the Trumpster, by Trumpism, right? That's exactly what's going to happen over here. And I just want to say this. If somebody were to ask me and say, in a primary, and you've got DeSantis, and you've got Trump, and you've got Haley, and you've got Pence, and Rick Scott, Tim Scott, or whoever it is out there, who are you going to give your vote to in a primary? Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump, okay? Plain and simple. If my choice were Donald Trump and Nikki Haley, who am I taking? Donald Trump. If my choice were given to me, Ron DeSantis, Nikki Haley, Ron DeSantis. If my choice were given to me, Mike Pence, Nikki Haley, okay, now I'm taking Nikki Haley. If my choice were Ted Cruz, Nikki Haley, I'm taking Ted Cruz. I can't think of anybody else, but if there's anybody else out there other than those 3 or 4, and it's Nikki Haley against somebody on the, I'd have to take a look and see. It's simple as that. It is as simple as that. And the only reason Nikki Haley is running, the political calculus that I think that's going on in her mind and the mind of her advisors and supporters, is that this is for a VP run, a VP slot, or elevating her position within the Republican Party as a woman. And listen, there's nothing wrong with that political calculus at all. You're raising money for your war chest, stumping around, you get more notoriety, you're rising up in the party ranks. Okay, fine. Great, give some speeches, give some ideas, policies that you want to put forward. But this in no way, if she's thinking that she's going to enter in a race, and let's say DeSantis and Trump and others are a primary, and she thinks that she's got a shot at coming in number 2 or number 1, oh, come on now. That's what she's going to have to say, of course. You can't say, listen, I entered into the field and I think I'm going to lose to these two guys. You can't do that. But we all know that there's a lot of posturing for position, for either VP or a high position cabinet job. Anyways, appreciate you taking the time to watch. Hope you enjoyed watching the video. We just want to let you know that hit that subscription button, please. Like, share, and follow us. Hit that notification bell so you see more reaction videos like this and with other stuff as well. And you've been watching the Dr. Nasir Shaikh Show. I've been your guest host. My name is Dr. Nasir. And I'll leave you with my final thought, which is, when you're right, and when you're left, you're wrong. We'll see you again next time, folks. Take care and stay safe.